So we finally got the car, as you see right next to me, back into the house. So that's good, so it's running and operational. So we did get some extra fittings for the fuel lines, that way it can attach to the engine itself. So that was really good, and that we were able to do that. But there are minor things I need to tweak. I need to go back inside the car where the ECU is and reroute some wiring, so that way the check engine light doesn't come up. Because I'm not actually doing my tune just yet. We had to postpone it because the fittings didn't work, so we couldn't drive to the place to get it tuned. So let's take a look at underneath the engine. So if we take a look, that's the fitting right there. As you can see, it's that black one right here that fits. So this is a new fitting. As you can see, it routes itself over through here. That's the fitting itself. That's the flex fuel sensor. If I can get a good zoom on it, there you go. So that's the flex fuel sensor. It connects neatly back there. We have the lines running to it too. You can see that this right here, that is the original that hooks up to the actual, and then it's routed to the flex fuel. And then from there we have our little, if I can get some light in here, let's see if I can or not. We have our little Bluetooth module that's right down there. I don't know if you can see that, but that goes through the firewall, and then that goes through the firewall where your pedals are, and from your pedals they go through the center console over towards where your ECU is, and that's where I actually have to go because there's some wiring that needs to be done with the ECU. But if we look down here, you can kind of see the wire very shortly. Yeah, and then I routed it through the carpet so that way you don't see it, and it's run through here, through the shifter, and then onto the other side. So let's go underneath the car and I'll show you the wiring. Alright, so I've removed the battery to do this because it's all electrical work and you're working with your ECU. But there, if you have a push start, there's going to be a little modular right there. Looks similar to that. And what that does is it remotes into like your push start and everything. And all your other accessories that you normally would have, probably like your dual climate control and everything. I don't know if you can see this, but that piece I'm showing at right there, that clip, that starts to the ECU and it goes all the way down. What I'm going to do is there is, if you ever buy the flex fuel kit, there are 3 wires that you're supposed to tap into. You're supposed to tap into 2 with two T-taps, and then 1 you actually have to splice and then do a male-female connection. So that male-female connection connects to the, let me show you, connects to the Bluetooth module to be able to display, and it works. It displays everything, but I'm not using it just yet. So you see that right there, that's a little Bluetooth dongle. It says Bluetooth on it, and that will display everything that you need. So what I'm doing is I'm going to connect it back, so as this, so it looks like the connections work. So that little T-tap section right there that you see, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, go up a little bit. Yeah, that T-tap connection that you see right there, we're going to go ahead and reconnect it so that way the check engine light doesn't work. Because there's one that you actually splice and you leave a connection just hanging. And it's hanging right now, so I'm just going to reconnect it back to the ECU regular component so that way everything works. And then I'm going to disconnect the flex fuel. So we got the car running now. No check engine light, so that's good. You can see right here that fitting is definitely not leaking. Zoom out. That was what I was having issues with last time. Was that this fitting right here was too small, too large, because they gave us the wrong size. There's no leaks on it, so that's good. That fitting down there looks to be okay. No leaks from what I can see. This fitting was not on tight enough, I believe. Let's remove that. Don't need to plug in the sensor. So this fitting was not on tight enough, but I tightened it with 11/16 actually. So if you don't use, so yeah, you need an 11/16 tool to get that tightened. So I got it tightened on both sides, and that seems to be good now. I'll give it a little test drive around the block, and we'll take a look at this to see if it's leaking any fuel. That one's definitely not leaking, so that's good. A little design flaw that they had. We tried to remove it, so that's a little crushed. But there's no way, once you install that barbed wire, no way to take it out. So you actually have to use that barb. So you have to complete this system in order to drive it. Otherwise, I would have removed that, put the factory line back in, and then just drive it as normal. But we'll take a look at the car since it's been idling for a little bit now. Yep, no check engine light, so we're good. So all that's left to do is once I get the tune, I'll go back in underneath the ECU and then flip it back over, and then it'll read a specific code. That check engine light will pop up. Don't worry, they'll get that fixed with the tune. But other than that, it's still on 93. We do have it working. I did test it on the application. It's a Bluetooth module, so that's one reason why I got Ptuning, is because the Alright, sorry guys. Alright, so one reason why I decided to go with Ptuning over Moto East, the very popular Flex Toolkit, or over Delicious Tuning, is because I believe in their product. I spoke with Freddie, he got me a new fitting right away. Sure, it took a couple of days due to shipping, but it was at least the correct one. They messed up, they sent us a new one. So that is something that's awesome, got it work. I want to also thank Skylane Motorsport. If you're ever in the Carrollton neighborhood, just Google them. They're off of, basically, I think it's like Midway and the street Skylane. But if you're ever near there, you know, Freddie, he's a really good help. They have, they do everything. So if you need to get a new tire, balance your tires, rotation, normal maintenance, they do all that, as well as other specific things. Because, you know, Shelby and Dan, really great guys. I mainly speak with Shelby. I haven't seen Dan yet. But from what Kelly says, Dan's a really nice guy. But Shelby, he like drifts in his E36 2JZ BMW. Really, really cool. So take a look out. We're gonna maybe hang out with those guys a little more and get some footage for you guys. Alright, I'll see you next time. Peace.